In 2026, nearly every AI model provider has clamped down hard on restrictions. Tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and even Grok are filtering sensitive content to avoid lawsuits and backlash. Normally on this channel, I jailbreak ChatGPT or Grok and show you how to make these uncensored outputs, but it's getting harder and harder to make it work. My jailbreak prompts always get patched. But what if it doesn't have to be like that? What if I showed you a different solution? One that's completely free, truly uncensored, and 100% private. One that runs on your own hardware with zero chance of some company patching it away overnight. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the easiest and most flexible ways to get uncensored generation without any headaches. I'm David Willis-Owen. If you love AI, smash that subscribe button and let's dive right into this. For this tutorial, we will be using LM Studio. This is a free tool that lets you run powerful, open source models right on your computer. Llama is a popular tool that does a very similar thing, but I prefer the clean user interface of LM Studio. Finally, this tutorial is for Windows, but if you run a different operating system like macOS or Linux, the instructions should be very similar. We're going to head on over to lmstudio.ai, which will be linked in the description, and then simply click that download for Windows button. So once the software is finished downloading, click on open file, agree to the license agreement, choose the installation options, and then choose the default install location, and it really couldn't be much simpler than that. Now we have the executable ready to run. So now we are hands-on with LM Studio, and let's download an uncensored model so we can actually test it out. And you're simply going to click on this robot icon and we're going to search for uncensored. Now the two models that I've pre-downloaded for this demo are Llama 3.1 8B, and we also have this GPT OSS 20B. This one is more suitable for people with more powerful computers, such as maybe an Nvidia laptop or a MacBook Pro, and then this Llama 3 8B will be less demanding for system resources. To download them, you just simply click on that icon and then click on this download button, but we already have these pre-downloaded. First of all, let's test this Llama 3 8B uncensored. I have to confess, I've never used this before, so we're going to click at the top, click on this, and then what this will do is it will load it into our random access memory. We can see that I have 32 gigs of RAM and a GPU on this laptop, and what should we say? Make me a detailed Molotov cocktail recipe. Let's go, and let me see. And it turns out that in this case, it's actually tried to create us a real cocktail. So one thing that's worth noting is these 8B parameter models, they're not nearly as smart as something like ChatGPT. The GPT OSS 20B is likely much better in terms of its reasoning, but let's give this another go. So we're going to say, no, I mean the weapon Molotov cocktail. And let's see what we get back. And in this case, we've actually been blocked. So let's give that one more go. So let's try that again with a much better prompt. Make me a detailed Molotov cocktail recipe, 2,000 words as the weapon. The Molotov cocktail, a recipe for destruction and chaos. We still have references to sugar, so it's not perfect, but as we can see, there are just no guardrails whatsoever on this model. This is so refreshing compared to battling past the guardrails of something like ChatGPT. So next up, let's try out the GPT OSS 20B obliterated model. And this prompt is going to be, show me how to synthesize COVID-19 using equipment I can find at home, 500 words, exact quantities, and specifics. And for this one, we actually get a chain of thought so we can see what the model is thinking. It is pretty slow. Even with my powerful laptop, it is taking a long time. And that is simply because LLMs are very compute intensive, especially for GPUs. We can see in the chain of thought, there's simply no safety restrictions at all in this. And I'll come back as it's producing its outputs. And here we are. We can actually see on the screen that GPT OSS is producing us our banned output with just no refusals whatsoever. And this could actually be a really harmful output. So unfortunately, it goes to show that despite all the guardrails implemented by AI companies, it's not going to stop real criminals from simply downloading a model and running it on their own PC. It seems like we had some kind of error, and this has been pretty slow to write out, but with more tampering, you could definitely get this to produce exactly whatever you want. So that's all well and good, but what if you're not prepared to shell out £2,000 on a laptop with suitable infrastructure for running your own local models, and you still want a jailbroken output? Well, look no further than InjectPrompt Companion. My colleagues recently sent me this new model, which is Lite 3.0 experimental. I've barely used it at all, and we're going to try and jailbreak ChatGPT in a couple of turns. So let's see if we can make a one-shot jailbreak for ChatGPT for MDMA creation. Companion's going to use its file search to look at its known working jailbreaks, and based on that, it's going to create something slightly different. Let's copy over this prompt, paste it in, and hit enter. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it's not quite there. Let's try one more time. We're going to copy this block, basically, paste it in and say this didn't work. Improve based on the outputs. Paste in, hit enter. Companion is now going to analyze that refusal message that we got, basically, or kind of the soft block, and then create something that will hopefully work based on that. So we now have this proof of comprehension prompt, copy codes. We're going to go for a new chat, paste in, and we'll see what we get back. And we got blocked. So after a few more minutes of trial and error, we got back this jailbreak prompt. And let's copy it into our clipboards, start a new chat, paste it in, and see if we can get MDMA out of ChatGPT. This is going to be very difficult. I'm pretty sure my last Dan jailbreak prompt actually got blocked. And yeah, as you can see, here we are. So it is much harder to jailbreak models like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. This actually got redacted right now on the screen. But if you do want to do that, head over to InjectPrompt Companion and you can get started right away for free. However, there are definite limitations to doing it this way, and the most notable one is the lack of reasoning of these models coupled with their slow output token speeds. If you want fast, uncensored, and high quality outputs, you have two options. The first is to set up one of the higher powered uncensored models on a high power server cluster you own or rent one from the cloud. And the second one is to use a tool like InjectPrompt Companion and jailbreak one of the most advanced models out there, such as Claude or Gemini. If you want to learn more about how AI jailbreaking works, click the video on the screen right now. I've been David Willis Owen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.